Hi there, so I'm going to try and do a video where I show you my sketching process and how I develop from them early sketches to a finished drawing. I've done this in previous videos, but this is going to be a more longer video. So now what's been a running theme with a lot of my drawings lately has been like undead, like skeletons or zombies impaled on sticks, or skulls impaled on sticks and stuff like that, with, you know, tentacles and things like that. That's the running theme that I want to try and go with this drawing. So when I start off, I want to try and sometimes think about trying to get everything that's in my head down on paper. So I always start with something central for now, like a little shape like that, and then try and build around it. Maybe there's another, maybe these are like zombie heads, I don't know, skull like zombie heads. And maybe another one down there. And there's a spike going through the head there, and then the spike goes way over there. I'll zoom in a bit just to show you. So my sketches start off really basic, and then I try and work from there. We're not drawing too much detail at this stage, just try and draw the basics. Doesn't have to be correct, because you can alter things at this stage. So these heads are going to be all like stuck together. Maybe there's like extra spikes and stuff coming out the eye there. Just try and like connect it and, you know, see how it goes. Maybe that one's stuck through his head there. Bottom jaws just hanging off. Yeah, maybe this skull has no bottom jaw. Yeah, probably. It's just like little things like that. Just as you're going along, just try and think of little things just to make your drawings set apart from other drawings that you may have done, or other drawings that you've seen, or even get inspired by other drawings and just see how they go. You know, you can have things in your head like that you want to draw, and then when you start to draw them, they're going to be a lot different to how you intended. So just think about that when you're drawing. The bottom jaw there. Think about some tentacle stuff coming out now. Or tentacle creatures. Don't know. It's all like a sketch is, really. It's just trying to find exactly what you want to draw while you're sketching and trying to find that out. And then maybe around that spike, that wooden spike that goes up there. Maybe try and have something wrapped around that. Maybe a tentacle or something. Doesn't have to be too exact or detailed, because you can work things out. Maybe something's coming out the eyeball there. just wrap round there. If the design like that you've drawn looks okay in your head, and it actually on paper as well, there's a good chance that the drawing might work and it might be something that you want to develop, so you just stick with it. If you're not happy with it, like I'm not happy with this at the moment, I think I want it to, obviously it's not symmetrical like in design, because obviously there's different stuff going on, but I like to try and balance some of my drawings a bit more, so maybe I might have a tentacle come up here, maybe just keep it as a tentacle, no head on it, just to balance a bit of that. That's a little serpent creature and a tentacle up there. So we're seeing this drawing, it's very light looking drawing, but what we'll do now is, I know which elements I want are going to be permanent, and that's like the outside of these skulls, so I'll draw a bit harder on the outside there, maybe just make up some little cracks and other little details. Change the structure of some of the heads as well as you're going along, just helps add a little bit of interest to it. As I said, these are going to be like zombie type heads, so there's going to be more like texture and details on the heads, like there's like rotten flesh just dropping off and things like that. That's how you can develop these drawings, just by creating that initial outline like I said, and then just start to spend more time on it. That's the only real good tip I can give you, really, you know. If you get the structure of the drawing sorted first, that's the most important thing, and once you've got, you know, the initial outline, then you can really start fleshing things out a lot more and working things out in greater detail. So what I haven't drawn in the outline was a lot of the detail on the jaw, sorry. So I'm trying to add bits in between the teeth, you know, like fleshy skin bit, you know, bits that are just hanging off there. A lot of it's just making it up as you go along, and that's the best bit about the drawing, you know, the way you sort of build it up. Draw a couple of eyeballs in here somewhere. There's no eyeball in there because like a tentacle creature's just burst out its eye. And maybe as it's got like a mouth there, like it's moving quite fast, so maybe it's like bursted loads of blood or something out. I don't know. Just make it up as you're going along. And there's lots of other elements coming off it, like slime and other stuff. Yeah, I don't know, just make it up as you go along. That's the best way with these drawings. Like I said, if you're not happy at the pencil stage, you just keep going, or sometimes you might have to start again. I've done that before. There's no real shame in having to start again if you're not happy with the drawing, because it happens. You're not going to get a perfect drawing every time or something that you're happy with every time, so just try and aim for something that you're going to like, or you're going to follow through with finishing. As usual with these zombies, like I've done like I like doing like missing teeth and things. That's part of the detail, you know, that you can do. There's maybe a tooth over there, I don't know. Give them like skull-like features though, but they really are rotten looking zombie heads. So that's like how you flesh out a drawing, and it's getting there. There may be some other elements that I might add, maybe like smaller tentacles, I don't know, thinner ones perhaps, just to make it really complex. I usually do that later on. I try and get the main elements, the larger bits sorted out, like these 3 heads and these little serpents that I've drawn in between. So what I'll do now is do a time lapse where I'm finishing all the pencils, and then we'll come back to it and then see where we are. So I've just like outlined everything, all the details are in play now. We can just start inking this now. I'm just using a basic gel ink pen, very cheap, but there we go. I'm just going to outline over everything, and again, nothing's permanent exactly as I've drawn here. I could change things as I see fit really. I can add things that I want, so long as like the ink lines don't all get like finished, then I can probably add stuff around it, but we'll just see how it goes. I usually like to ink random bits and then move to another place and just do it that way. It's a bit strange, I know, but it's the way I work. So I did say about that bit there that I was going to do like not a bottom draw on that skull, but I ended up doing one anyway. So that's the way a drawing always works. You know, you have one idea and then it ends up being, you know, something else. So it's just better to run with it really. So at this stage I like, you know, particularly now when I start drawing, I like just to do all the outlines first and then do all the shadowing later on, last. So like I said, I'm just doing all the outlines. And then I can work out all the shadow areas. I started to add a bit of shadow with pencil, but then I thought I'd just add that with ink when I get to the inking stage. That's the best way to do it. I quite like this design. I quite like that, you know, the tentacle wrapping around that stick there. It's, yeah, quite like that. Maybe draw some of these teeth a bit more jagged there, and extra details here and there. And there's a tooth there I missed. There we go. And yeah. Extra details here and there. There's just something about the inking stage that I really like. I mean, I like the drawing stage and, you know, coming up with ideas, but the inking, it just, I don't know, it's just one of the best sort of things you can do on a drawing. Just add all the ink lines. That's if you ever do inking, you know, with drawings. You don't always have to ink drawings, but I always do. I'm sort of like a comic book artist at heart, really. Just, you know, inking drawings and stuff like that. Just draw all these splattered bits, maybe add a bit more to it there. So I'm hopeful of doing more videos. I've done quite a few, but I just need to edit some, and, you know, the same as always. But there's a couple are coming up that are really long videos, but I'm trying to edit them a little bit differently. I'm trying to do something different with them instead of doing the same old way that I've been doing things. I want to try some different editing type styles or something, you know, so hopefully I can get them finished. I'm drawing some different stuff. I'm doing a few commissions, trying to do them on video as well. Only a few of them. I won't do all of them because some I don't think the clients want the designs on a video, so, which is all well and good. So, you know, I've got a few things planned in the pipeline, sort of thing. So yeah, really it's just about going over all these lines, adding little details along the way. Just trying to flesh things out a bit more. So we already know like the shadows will be underneath and around the eyes, the mouth areas and stuff like that, but there'll be like a large amount of shadow underneath the drawing, so I'll be doing that. I'm tempted to go into another time lapse, but I want to keep this sort of as real drawing as possible. Because a lot of people just get pissed off with time lapses all the time. So I'm just going over random bits here and there. I never like to stay on the same bit too long. Maybe move on to another bit, maybe one of the skulls. I definitely like that tentacle wrapped around that spike. I think the wooden spikes, because I'm starting to add the texture to it, so just like pieces of wood, huge toothpicks or something. Also, inking is a really good excuse to go over the top on detail, and you know, I do like detail on drawings. Maybe that is the end of that tentacle there. And then maybe there's another tentacle that comes here. Just add that in. And that one just goes in that skull's head there. Go back to that. Start adding bits on this skull. Again, just filling in all lands where I can. Try and work a bit quicker, sort of taking my time a bit, but noisy bastards outside. It's okay, they don't realise I'm doing a video, so it's just one of them things. We'll get noise everywhere, but I wish they'd just shut the hell up. No, would it be nice? Teddy bears. Yeah, anyway, I was just near enough finishing all this ink, but you can see it all coming together, and you can see the lines and everything, and the design of this illustration. It's coming together now. Got that spike at the top of the head there. little serpent head things. It's got no eyes, so it just makes it easy just to do the teeth. Lots of teeth. Teeth on the other side of the mouth. Like I said, once you've got all the outline drawn in as best you can, or inked in as best you can, then you can start to add shadow whenever you want, really. Just do that little tentacle off the camera there, and this one as well. Details, lots of blood on this, on these spikes, which you can hardly see because it's going off camera, but there we go. And this other head with lots of teeth. Just add in. More teeth. Teeth upon teeth, lots of teeth. Lots of blood just dripping. Like that. And extra details. The more details the better, really. That's what I always say. And then we have our outline. I can start to add darker elements now, like just go for the obvious areas. Do like bits of full black colour, or you can do like cross hatching, which I do a mixture of both. I also thicken lines at this point as well, mainly underneath, just to give weight to the drawings always. And if I do like a black background over this and then black lines disappear, then I can maybe reverse it and do like white lines. There's always ways you can, you know, overcome certain little obstacles when you want to draw the things that you want to draw. So once all these little techniques that you do sort of come together, it's that's what makes a drawing, really. That's what I think anyway. Obviously if this was a tattoo, it'd be I'd cut down on the detail a bit more, but it's not a tattoo, it's an illustration. Try and darken a lot of areas, because the more complex some drawings are, they need the darker areas just to help, you know, define certain bits, because some elements can get lost in sort of all the detail, you know, particularly these spikes and all the blood drips and splatters and things like that. You've got to separate them slightly with thicker dark ink, and that's why I'm doing like the lines underneath, because it helps set an element stand out. Like I said, thicker lines underneath, particularly these serpent-like body pieces. It just helps define the creature bits as well, and any element really, just tentacles. Always remember a thicker line underneath, or wherever the light source is coming from, but generally it's like the shaded bits underneath. It just helps anyway, you know. That's only something I've really done within the last couple of years. I've thought about, you know, different line weights and things like that. Darken them eyes a little bit more. It's almost skull-like, but we want to try and keep a lot of the rotten sort of elements. Again, we want to try and define where these spikes are digging into these skulls, so we want some shadow area underneath there just to show, and there, you know, where we can show the sort of entry points into the skull. That doesn't quite line up with that one, so I think I messed up there. As you can see, let's move that down a bit. It looks like it lines up there, but sort of could do. Maybe there's a crick in the stick. Yeah. So now I want to separate a lot of these blood bits and drips. So it's a good idea just to darken all in between all that. And maybe draw some splatters which are happening in sort of shadow as well. It's a good way of doing that. And that way it looks like there's all like maybe like flesh behind that. You know, there's because obviously like he's missing a bit of a jaw, maybe got a bit of bone there, but the rest is all broke off. And this is all just rotten, all black rot underneath. So it works quite well. So when in doubt on a line drawing, always try and darken things to bring things forward. So you know, like the skulls, like one shape, so you bring maybe darkness around it or underneath or anywhere you can really, to just bring your drawings a bit forward and more depth to them as well. So always a good idea. And that tentacle in the mouth there, just draw a bit of shadow, and a bit on there as well, just underneath. And there's maybe like little drips coming off there as well. It's almost like I've said this loads of times, a drawing is like a sculpture, you know, you can work on it more, and then you can build up areas. You've really got to think about what you're drawing as well. It's, you know, sometimes you can blast through a drawing and get things right, or you could get things wrong, or you could overwork a drawing. That's, you know, I've had that problem in the past as well. Overworking drawings is just the worst. Even though I like to add like loads of detail, it can become a bit of a mess. That's why separating these, you know, adding lots of shadow really helps as well. You can get rid of some detail by doing that as well, and make it less busy looking drawings. So there's ways of trying to make these drawings work. So it's, you know, the black and white contrast is a really good way of doing that, because you do too much black ink detail, you can just white it out and thin it out a bit with white pen or white paint, and, you know, a bit of a balancing act. But no drawing was done in a short time frame. You've got to spend some time on these proper drawings, and that's the way to do it, really. That's something that I've had to learn over time. I used to think that drawing a drawing, you just draw it and, you know, it's done. But then I look back at some of my old drawings and I think, I wish I'd have spent more time on them. Or, well, it's never too late, you could always go back, but it's always best to go forward on each drawing and, you know, try and do better each time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I probably would do a bit more shadowing and things like that. So actually I'll do that now and then come back and I'll show you the final result. But this is basically my drawing process that I've showed you on many videos, and if you look through a lot of the past videos. So yeah, I'll show you that final bit in a minute, or straight away for you. Right, so I've just gone in and added more dark, you know, like outlines and things, and more details, and I think for now the inking that is done on that, really. I probably will colour this at a later stage, but I wanted to show you the full drawing process of how I come up with ideas. Sometimes it's just spare of the moment, just like pushing through an idea, or, you know, just sketching, really, starting off, working things out and seeing what happens. So I hope you enjoyed that long video. I'll see you in the next video. Cheers now.